my lovely rose garden. I'm Avalon.
And I'm Ray.
And we're back for a very, very short chapter of Throne of Ass. Chapter 46 is like barely a page front and back. So,
let's go.
Here we go.
Which means that we will definitely have to rant like for at least 15 minutes for this to be worth it.
Yeah. Shit. Oh well.
Hey.
The forest was still and frozen around Dorian, and snow collapsed from the trees in large clumps as he passed by. His eyes darted among the branches and bushes. He'd needed to come out for a hunt today, if only to let the freezing air rush through him. He saw her face each time he closed his eyes.
Yeah?
I know it's not this. I know it's not, but in my brain, the first thing that happened was, 'cause every time we touch,
I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly.
She haunted his thoughts, made him wish to do grand and wonderful things in her name, made him want to be a man who deserved to wear a crown. For her? For this thing?
Okay.
I highly doubt that she is even in the top 5 of women that you've probably been around, but okay. I guess she's not like other girls, so...
Whatever.
But Phoebe, he didn't know how she felt. She kissed him, greedily at that. But the women he'd loved in the past had always been eager. They'd gazed at him adoringly, while she just looked at him like a cat watching a mouse. Dorian straightened, detecting nearby movement. A stag stood 10 yards away, feeding on bark.
Oh, hey, I'm here.
Hey, you showed up. You cameoed. Hopefully you'll be dispatched quickly so you can get out of this book.
Kill me! Kill me, bitch!
Give me the hell out of
Give me the hell.
He stopped his horse and drew an arrow from its quiver, but he slackened the bow.
No.
She was to duel tomorrow.
No, kill me. Kill me now.
If harm came to her, no, she could hold her own. She was strong and smart and quick. 1 out of 3.
I mean,
I don't know about strong and smart. Quick, yeah, I'll give you quick.
yeah.
He'd gone too far. He should never have kissed her. Because now, no matter how he might have, pronouns are hard. No matter how he might have once envisioned his future, or who he thought he'd spend it with. Kale. He couldn't imagine being with anyone else, wanting anyone else. You will not feel this way forever. Like, not to
burst your bubble, bud, but you're not endgame.
You're not endgame. You get a different love interest.
Yeah, it's
sure. Like, I get it. When you're a teenager and you got someone you like, it feels like it's the be-all, end-all of relationships. Buddy.
Wait until your 20s, okay?
At least your mid-20s. I wouldn't even trust your early 20s too much. Snow began falling. Dorian glanced at the gray sky and rode on through the silent game park. POV switch tilde.
He didn't kill me. I still remain in this book somewhere, suffering.
I'm sorry. Phoebe stood before her balcony door, staring down at Rifthold. The roofs were still snow-covered, and lights twinkled in every home. It might have looked beautiful had she not known what corruption and filth dwelt within it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Again, stop pretending like you give a shit about the classism. You don't.
You don't. These people were most likely paying your bills for, like, the longest time, so, you know, whatever.
And what monstrosity ruled over it all. She hoped Knox was far, far away. Yeah, he's in Sugar Springs.
He's in the basement. He's fine.
He's fine. He's in a better book right now. And I wish I was there.
Speaking of.
Yeah, so we talked about it, and since we record and edit videos on my computer, rather than do that and then go through the song and dance of having to transfer the files over to Ray's computer so he could upload them to his channel, we're just going to do the Cinderella Boy readings here.
And it'll be exclusive for our friends and patrons.
Yeah, because it just...
we're definitely not going to have them, like, public. Because it's just a silly little time instead.
Yeah, we're just, like, having fun and trying out voice acting and stuff. And it wouldn't really fit, like, the vibe of this channel.
No.
So those videos will be hosted here, but they will only be shared to, like, supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi.
Yeah.
And if I could figure out a way to do YouTube membership where, like, it was just unlisted, but because the way YouTube membership works is that you have to be a YouTube member to watch it if I list it as members only, instead of being able to share that link out.
Are our YouTube members allowed for our... Do they get a link to the Discord?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so yeah, just sharing it on the Discord is probably the same as, like...
Yeah, so
yeah, if you want access to our Discord, you know what to do.
Yeah, become a supporter on Ko-fi or Patreon.
Hear our silly little...
Or YouTube.
Nonsense covers of... or dubs of webtoons that we're obsessed with.
Yeah, and it's, it's just us having fun, being silly, so...
Yeah.
That's the plug for this episode, because we need to pan out for time. Because we're almost done already, and it's been 7 minutes.
Oops.
She'd told her guards she didn't want any visitors tonight, and to turn away even Kale and Dorian if they arrived. I don't know if they're allowed to do that. I don't think they can... Maybe Kale. I don't think they could turn Dorian away.
I don't think they can turn Kale away either. He's literally captain of the guard.
I'm like...
If he needs entrance to her chambers, he's gonna get it, because...
She doesn't hold rank over these people.
She doesn't... She is a prisoner. Who is giving her, like, this interpretation that, like, she can give orders as to who is and who is not allowed in her room?
This is dumb. This is stupid. Like, at most, I could see it as like, oh, I don't really want any visitors, so, please turn them away and say I want to be alone. And, like, Kale would probably honor that if the guards were like, oh, she's really not in the mood for visitors right now.
Yeah. But at the same time, they can't turn him away. He's their boss.
That's not how this works. She sure acts like she's a fucking princess, don't she?
Mm.
Let's go back to, what was that just a couple sentences before? Had she not known what corruption and filth dwelt within it, and the monstrosity who ruled over it all. And then she's just casually giving orders to these palace guards who are not her employees. Okay.
Okay, Karen, like...
Someone had knocked once, but she didn't answer, and they had soon left without trying again. She put her hand on a pane of glass, savoring its frozen bite. The clock struck 12. Hey, Cinderella reference! Tomorrow, or was it today already, she'd face Kane. She'd never sparred with him in practice. The other champions had been too eager to get a piece of him. While Kane was strong, he wasn't as fast as she was, but he had stamina. She'd have to dodge him for a while. She just prayed that running with Kale would keep her from tiring before him. If she lost... Don't even give yourself that option. She leaned her forehead against the glass. Would it be more honorable to fall in the duel than to return to Endovier? Or would it be more honorable to die than to become the king's champion? Who would he have her kill? These seem like questions that a more introspective and self-aware character would have been asking earlier in the book. Like, I get it. I get that she's been like, yeah, being the king's champion, that's fucking gross. I hate that guy. But, like, just, again, I'm thinking of a more contemplative character, a character that takes her job a little more seriously, takes her position in the world and the political ramifications a little more seriously. Because this is actually an interesting question. What is the honorable thing to do in this situation? Should she accept a role as the king's champion? What would that entail? She is a highly skilled assassin, so would putting herself in the king's employ be a horrible thing to do morally, even with the context of her being an assassin? But the problem is that Selena has not really been thinking about this in terms of honor.
Yeah.
She's been thinking about it in terms of, I hate this asshole and I don't want to be his employee. This is going to be an HR nightmare. Honor hasn't really come into it. Morality hasn't really come into it. And again, we have these very shoved in moments of like, oh, things in Rifthold are so corrupt and the monarchy is so corrupt. But she's not going to overthrow the monarchy.
Yeah.
It's all just lip service to ideals that clearly, evidenced by SJM's other works, she does not intend to examine in any greater detail than just paying lip service.
Well, yeah, because once she finds out she's a princess, inevitably.
Or the reader finds out, because I think she already knows.
Yeah.
That she's just not telling us.
Yeah. Like, this whole class consciousness thing, I imagine is going to fade pretty quick from the narrative.
Yeah.
For as much as it has been in the narrative, you know, it kind of shows up like once every maybe 20 chapters just to remind you that she's class conscious, and then disappears again.
Just as quickly.
Yeah.
Usually with her making some shitty remark to or about the servants in the castle.
Yeah.
Hence palace guards.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is maybe a mistake that some beginning writers might make, where they think that in order to display a character having a trait, they just need to mention it every so often.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases that is true, such as if your character has green eyes, you probably only need to mention that a couple of times throughout the book, just to, you know, when your reader is forming their initial image of the character,
Yeah.
and maybe a handful of times at moments where their eye color might be especially striking or stand out, or just to give the reader a reminder that this person does have green eyes, by the way.
Yeah.
If it's been a 100 or more pages since you've mentioned it,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's like their defining feature.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something like their worldview, their beliefs, their morality,
Yeah.
those are really things where, you know, ultimately it really just comes down to show versus tell. And sometimes it's fine to tell little details that don't actually impact the story. You can just tell those things. You don't have to spend a whole paragraph beating around the bush of just saying she has green eyes.
Yeah.
But things like I said, beliefs, morality, worldview, political alignments, these things should be shown consistently through the way the character interacts with the world and characters around them.
Yeah.
Which is why this comes across as so disingenuous, and it's why I say, you know, the book is trying to tell me that she cares about class consciousness here, and I'm saying, shut the fuck up, no you don't. Because even though the book is, like, halting to tell me, oh, she cares about this, I don't see that in any of her other shit. Mm-hmm. She's always hanging around with people who are, like, very important. All of her friends and close contacts are, you know, the captain of the guard, the prince, the princess of another kingdom.
The only common person that she was close with was Knox, and he just disappeared from the narrative. Yeah. We will never see that bitch again.
And they spent no significant amount of page time together. Mm-hmm. He would be mentioned on occasion, but, like, they didn't have a deep impact on each other's lives. We don't know anything about Knox and his past or why he's here.
Yeah.
He's basically not a character.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I think we can move on now.
Yeah.
She'd had a say as Aderlin's assassin. Even with Arabin Hamel running her life, she'd always had a say in what job she took. This is contradictory.
Yeah.
If he's running your life, what do you mean you have a say in the jobs you take?
Yeah.
He's not running your life then.
Yeah. Whatever.
No children, no one from Terrasen, but the king could tell her to kill anyone. Did Elena expect her to say no to him when she was his champion? Her stomach rose in her throat. Now wasn't the time for this. She had to focus on Kane, on wearing him down. But try as she might, all she could think about was that half-starved, hopeless assassin who'd been dragged out of Endovier one autumn day by a snarling captain of the guard. What would she have said to the prince's bargain had she known she would come to stand poised to lose so much? Considering that was not very long ago, probably the exact same thing that you did say.
Yeah.
Would she have laughed if she'd known that other things, other people, would come to mean as much as her freedom? See, I have yet to see that you care all that much about either other people or your freedom. You kind of just seem to be here because the plot demands it.
Mm-hmm. You haven't exactly given a whole lot of effort to escape.
Like,
even though apparently Nox can just fuck off.
Yeah, Nox just fucking left. Like,
yeah, I'm just over here like, they can do that?
So he
just escaped.
Yeah, like, remember that?
He just left.
Remember that scene way at the beginning where, like,
they're all like, oh, there's no escape and all this stuff.
Yeah, didn't someone try to leave and then they, like, shot him down?
Yeah, but no, Nox just left.
Nox was just like, I'm gonna head out.
Alright, I'm gonna head out. Disappears.
I got a date with a blonde. Bye.
Yeah, but we have literally, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because nothing matters. And Nox didn't matter to this story. So we can just have him just vanish in a sort of hand-waved way.
Yeah,
because we have already forgotten that these people are criminals who would be escorted back to jail if they failed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And what are Selena's motivations when she's talking about people that matter as much to her as her freedom? I'm like, I didn't really feel like your freedom was a motivation for you past, like, chapter 5. Again, these are things that we're being told, but they haven't really been shown throughout the book. And motivation is another one of those things where you want to see it. You want to have multiple examples that you can point to of, this is what this character cares about.
Yeah.
This is why they're doing what they're doing. Selena just seems to be doing things because the plot says so.
Yeah.
I don't get a strong sense of, I'm fighting for justice, I'm trying to win my freedom. Like, it all just seems to be a matter of course. Anyway, we're almost done. Phoebe swallowed the lump in her throat. Perhaps there were other reasons to fight tomorrow. Perhaps a few months in the castle hadn't been enough. Perhaps she wanted to stay here for purposes other than her eventual freedom. That was one thing that hopeless assassin from Endovier would never have believed. But it was true. She wanted to stay, and that would make tomorrow so much harder. Is it because of a boy? Is it because you have a crush on a boy? And now that's going to be your motivation? God, you suck.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all that there was in this chapter. Literally, nothing happens. It's just Dorian thinking and then Selena thinking for like 4 paragraphs each.
We're getting teased for the ship that we know ahead of time isn't even endgame. So I'm just like,
yeah, like,
wah, wah.
Like, I think they get together at the end of this book, maybe, And then they're like together for most of book 2, I think, and then she dumps him for Kale. So, anyway, see you later. Keep growing till next time.
Bye.